Heavy metal rock.
MyGlobalMind.
Running from the law till I'm dead and gone. Pay the bail, county jail all weekend long. Swear it ain't my fault. I'm a hothead, skull ring, corn-fed, blue jean son of a bitch. About as country as it gets, 100 down a dirt.
I'm Robert Cavuto, and today on My Global Mind, I'm pleased to be speaking with Trey Landrum of Devil's Cut for the release of their new album, Roadkill, out April 24th. Trey, welcome, and thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, the album is killer.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I'm nervous.
Oh, no, it's great.
First album. We've done EPs. We've never done full length.
Yep. Yeah. You know, I've been listening to the album nonstop since it was sent to me, so I'm really enjoying
wow.
it. Yeah, cool stuff. It's really powerful.
Thank you.
Before we talk a little bit about the album, tell me a little bit about the formation of the band and how well the members know each other and met.
Okay. Well, basically, it started. Our manager Cody. It really started. We were a band prior, and we were kind of going through a rebrand, and he suggested, he was like, you know what, I think country and metal, it's about to be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should get ahead of the curve. And at the time I was like, I don't really, like, I hear you, I don't really understand. I don't know how would we execute that?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like trying to break it down, like he had this vision, and I'm like, okay, so our early demos were all over the place, trying to find our sound, like hone in on it, you know? And when we finally found it, like, holy shit, this is it. Like, this is the avenue for us, you know? It just kind of was just a waterfall after that, you know, everything just made sense. It was easy and so on and so forth. But as far as the band goes, one of the members of that band helped me start this one.
Mm-hmm.
And then ever since, we just kind of just formed through, like, grapevine, if you will. Like, oh, our guitarist knew another guitarist, and it was one of his good friends that he was in a band with like 5 years prior. And it's just like it just really just, we didn't really have to advertise for anything. It was just all word of mouth, and just friends were like, oh, I know this guy, he's a killer drummer, or like, you know, it's just one of those things. It just kind of all worked out in that sense. It was really wild in retrospect.
It's fascinating to hear that, because everybody seems like-minded and everybody seems like they like to have fun. You know,
Oh yeah,
you don't got a couple of stiff guys with a couple of like crazy guys. You guys all in the videos look pretty entertaining and fun, and like to laugh and have a good time.
I mean, that's kind of like our mantra, you know, like I mean, we, like, you put us anywhere and we'll find a way to have a good time. It's like, even we do content and we joke about, like, damn, I do not want to do content, because it's kind of a buzzkill for bands, like, we have to do this, you know, type thing. But when we get there, give it like 15 minutes and we're there for like 12 hours, and we're having the best time of our lives. We're like, oh man, well, I'm dreading the next content day.
Yeah.
But we just always have a good time, and that's one thing I can say about the guys. But we all get along. It's a family. We're always trying to make each other laugh. You know, it's just a good vibe.
That's very cool. You know, I found it really interesting that you, as a band, calling it country metal. I've never heard of that before. I've heard Southern rock. I've heard, you know, like Blackstone Cherry. They're kind of on the cusp. You know, sometimes they're country, sometimes they're rock.
Yeah.
You fully embraced, you know, this moniker, and I think it's great. And you guys nailed it completely.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Really,
Yes,
really
like,
good.
I mean, Southern. I mean, it's all in the same ballpark. You know, Blackstone Cherry, they're Kentucky boys too. They're not far from where we are.
Right.
But they're it's like Southern. It's like, even with country metal, it's like you go down that avenue, because I consider Nickelback Southern. Southern rock. They
Okay.
really is. They're teetering that line too with country. If you listen to lyrics, like even the earlier stuff, they've always been dabbling their toes in country music. So
Yeah.
with the country metal thing, we're not full blown Southern. Like we do have a heavier aspect to it than some of those bands.
Right.
So
Definitely.
yeah, so
Yeah,
it's like
definitely.
country metal. It's like some people say alternative. That's kind of like a trendy TikTok thing, and we were kind of going that avenue saying it, and our manager hates it. He's like, "Don't claim you alternative." So
No, Don, you're not
yeah,
alternative. Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of like one of those things. Like it's not going to be around in 5 years. It's just like a trend. So we're like,
Right.
okay, fair enough.
There's
Hopefully
elements
we're
of
around in 5 years. Yeah.
there's elements of that in the songs, but I think predominantly country metal really, strikes the perfect moniker. What's fascinating here, I live in New Jersey, and we have an arena, PNC, and when they put a country band there, and I'm not huge country person, it's sold out, nonstop, packed, people partying.
Wow.
And when there's a hardcore metal band or a hard rock band, it could be a little soft. So it's interesting that country is the new hard rock, and metal. So it's nice that you're taking on that trajectory. I
Yeah.
think it's the right direction.
The interesting thing about okay, we're on the heavier side of the element, but
Yeah,
you look at country music, and country's dabbling their toes in metal or hard rock, if you will.
hard
You
rock.
got like
Yeah. A lot
Hardy,
of crossover.
Treaty Oak. Yeah, it's like they're doing it in their own way, like coming over this way, we're going this way.
Yeah.
And it's like even I'm friends with Miles, the drummer of Cody Johnson, and the
Mhm.
first time I met them, dude, we're up on their bus and they're all wearing like Pantera Metallica t-shirts, like
Yeah.
listening to Kubla Khan, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, and they're like, oh yeah, we love metal. That's all we listen to. And then get on the bus, and they're like, all right, time to put on like our clothes, like our stage clothes. We're like, oh, time to go. We gotta put on our Levi's and stuff. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, but it's really cool to see like that they embrace metal as much as metalheads love country.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's a full circle. It really is.
You guys had I'd say a long uptake, so to speak, because in 2019 you did the cover of Dan and Sinead's country hit Tequila. Then in 2022 you were a TikTok sensation with Insomnia, and you're going up this trajectory. How did those two songs propel the band? Like where did, tell me about the start in 2019 and getting to the full length album.
Well, the tequila cover, that was because at that point in time we didn't have the originals mapped out just yet. Like
Okay.
that was when we had a lot of demos, but we're trying to hone in on our sound. It was the idea of let's do a rock version of a country song that is popular at this time. That's going to set the tone. Like this, people are going to be like, oh, country rock, like what's going on here? So people would know what to expect moving forward from us.
Right.
So then, like Insomnia, that song, I love that song so much. We did
Great
that. We
song.
wrote that with Andrew Bayless. We were in Nashville, and Mitchell Tenpenny, the country singer, helped write that. Not many
Okay.
people know that,
Yeah.
and it's funny too because in the breakdown, the screams, is screaming it. That's Mitchell. And
That's
like
awesome.
I was like, man, can we get you guesting on this? And there's so much red tape because he's such a big artist. He's like, man, there's so much red tape. You're gonna have to go through my publishing and like all this stuff. So we just said, fuck it. We're just gonna like release it, not put his name on there just because we legally couldn't. And
Right.
but that's him. Not no one knows. There you go. You know now.
That's pretty funny. That world knows it's
Yeah,
exposed.
yeah. But that was such a cool writing session because we went to a bar down in Nashville, as Red Door, and the guy we were working with producing it was like, hey, you need to stop by, pick me up at Red Door, and we'll head to the studio from there. I'm with Mitchell Tenpenny, and I'm a huge fan. I was like, oh, no shit. He was like, yeah, I think I can convince him to come help us write the song. And I was like,
Wow.
okay. And I like walk in, and he's like, do you want a shot? And I'm like, sure. And like we're just pounding shots, and then Bale's like, hey, you want to come with us to the studio? And he's like looking at his watch. He's like, oh, I got a couple hours. Yeah, let's go. And I was like, no way, it was that easy.
Oh,
We
that's
did
fun.
it. Yeah, dude, it was one of the coolest writing experiences I've ever had, for real.
Dream come true too, right?
Oh yeah,
Never
oh
expected
yeah,
that.
oh yeah.
That's pretty neat. The band, speaking of Nashville, the band relocated to Nashville from Kentucky to write Roadkill and record it.
Yeah.
Tell me about that collaboration, the inspiration for going down to Nashville, and how did it take the band to a new level and help with that direction that you said of country metal?
It was, we were down there for, it was about a month, and we already had a lot of songs written. We had a Dropbox of a lot of demos. Didn't know if we were going to use them. It was one of those things, just give it to the producer and let him pick.
Yeah.
And we went down there, and it's funny in retrospect because I thought the whole point of that month was to record the album. And then by the end of everything, we're done with the album. And then they're like, "Oh, how'd the writing sessions go?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, we're done with the album." They're like, "You're done with the album?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, I thought that's what we're here for." They're like, "No, we set it up for writing, like writing more songs." I was like, "Well, we did that too, but the album's done." But it was like really wild. I'm like, "Damn, we did good. Like we're ahead of the curve. This is awesome." But it was a cool experience. It was a lot of work. I had friends down in Nashville, had friends from Louisville driving down, like, "Oh, I'm coming down to see you." I'm like, "You understand, I'm not going to see you."
Yeah.
Like we
Locked
went
in.
in. Yeah, we were in at 10 a.m. We didn't leave till around midnight. There's no windows in the studio.
Oh,
You
yeah.
go in daylight, you come out, it's pitch black.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
like repeat tomorrow. And we only had one day off, and it was like we were trapped in a box.
Yeah.
But we got a lot of good stuff out of it. Wrote with some really, really good writers, and it was very it was a unique experience, and but it was a cool experience. I wasn't
Yeah.
mad about it at all. I'll never forget it.
The album that you mentioned, somebody was questioning about the writing. Was the album that you said was done? Is that the final album, or did you go back
Yeah,
and modify
yeah.
things?
No, we went down because we went with our producer, and we were like, all right, let's. And we already had some songs. We had 3 songs already cut because we were kind of ahead of the curve even
Yeah.
before that. And we already had 3 songs cut, and so we had like 7 more songs to do. And we wrote 3 in the studio, and we tracked 4 more from our demo box.
That's pretty cool.
But I thought that's what we're there for. And that, like, no, like right. I'm like, well, we did that. Well, I didn't know. Well, here it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
like
in my mind, and again, I don't know a lot about country. The music is metal, and the lyrics are, and the storytelling behind it really is in line with country music, from my limited knowledge. Does that influence your writing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Storytelling
I mean,
aspect of country music?
country music, I'll die on this hill. I think country music as a whole has some of the best, like, lyricism.
Yeah.
The storytelling, there's substance behind it. Like, a lot of people can relate to it. The stigma of country, that's the only thing. Some people will hear the word country and won't even want to give it a chance.
Yeah.
Oh, my dog died. Like, my girl left me. I have my truck in a Bud Light, and I'm like, man, I get it. That's funny. Haha.
Yeah.
But I'm like, dude, there's so much more to what is being said that really resonates,
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, going back to that, yeah, the lyrics are a big part of us. Like, we try to do the storytelling, we try to, even melodies. We'll like one of our earlier songs, we kind of wrote around that Up Down Morgan Wallen song. It was for Lost in My Head. I don't know if you heard that one, but we based it around that song. Like, wrote the music around it, the vocal melodies, like all that stuff, just to have like a really close tie with like a big country song. Like, let's see if we can do this, and it came out great. But yeah, that between that and the ambience, we have so many layers in our music, with like mandolin, banjo, lap steel. There's just so much stuff going on that is very subtle, but if we took it out, it would make a difference,
Yeah, yeah, totally. And it's fascinating to hear you say that you went and took a hit and tried to mimic that hit. That's probably the best way to learn, instead of starting off from scratch. It's like, let's take a hit and let's make another hit off of it, the son of it, and that's
especially going from like a completely different spectrum from like bona fide country music to metal.
Yeah.
It's like see if we can do that. One of our buddies was talking about how they wrote songs around like Selena Gomez and different like pop artists, and I'm like,
Wow.
that's an interesting concept. And
Yeah.
we were like, you know what? Let's try for one of our songs, and we
Yeah.
took that one and went with it. And like it was interesting. Never done it that way.
You know, that reminds me, I think Josh Todd told me he listens to a lot of pop music and he's very influenced by pop music. And it's kind of interesting. He tries to, some songs even start like, I'm going to write like a Cardi B song and then puts the Buck Cherry spin on it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's interesting to hear
Yeah,
that.
it is. I had never heard that. And I'm like, that. How do you do that? Like, I'm like, okay, like we did it. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. You know, like there's elements, pop music. I
Yeah.
mean, great hooks, great melodies, great everything. So it does make sense.
Yeah. That's like when you're a kid too. You're learning how to play and you go and you're friends with the band and you say, look, I wrote this great song. And they're like, that's so-and-so's song.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Real,
really?
like,
You know, it's like
I still
I
do
didn't
that. I'd be
realize
like,
that,
oh
you know?
man, I like come up with something and be like, dude, you can't. That's this song's like,
Yeah.
you know, like, damn, you're right. It happens still. That never
Totally.
stops.
Yeah, I can imagine subliminally it's there.
Yeah.
I read in the press release, and this is kind of intriguing. Roadkill, you guys consider to be dad rock. What is dad rock? I've never heard that.
So we kind of joke with it because our producer was like, man, I like this sound is coming back. That kind of like radio butt rock and more butt rock. Dad rock is butt rock.
Okay.
It's kind of the same thing. Like Nickelback is having a resurgence. You got Three Days Grace having a resurgence. You got all these bands from that era just kind of crossfade, like kind of coming back and like doing the dad rock sound. It's
that's
just
so funny.
it's kind of like a trendy like TikTok like dad rock playlist, and it's all of that, you know.
I'm so out of touch.
He was like, there's such a resurgence. I think this is like coming, like this sound, someone new doing it like in their own way. Like this could be a cool avenue, you know. So we just, it's all for just fun. We're like, dad rock, you know, back, which it never really truly left. It's just to have fun, just to get your attention.
And it's so funny because dad's probably not even like myself aren't on TikTok. We're not like in the know of everything. So we don't even know what's called like dad rock. So it's pretty, that's even like I guess
they
the
even
joke
go as
of
far
it.
as divorce dad rock.
Yeah.
Like it's like fun. And I didn't know till the other day, there's apparently a divorced mom playlist. Like like female music for like Pink and, you know, Kesha and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's funny. Yeah.
That is really good. One of my favorite songs on the album was "FU Anyway." It really mixes, you know, we talk about country, we talked about metal, and then you're rapping through parts of it, you know.
Yeah, it's trap country.
Yeah. And it's got pop sensibility on the other end of it. Not, you know, so how could you get more diverse than that in your songwriting?
That song, that was all our producer. He was like, I have this idea. Let's do trap country mixed with deathcore breakdowns and EDM. And I was like, you lost me at EDM. How? Yeah. What? I was like, okay, I'm intrigued. Let's go. And it like that song is so all over the place. I love it though. It works in its weird way.
Yeah. My daughter knows EDM. I'm the same as you. I know nothing about it. And she'll put it on in the car. I go, "What's EDM?" And she puts it on. You know, it's like, "Oh, all right, let's turn it off now."
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm like, I get it, you know, but yeah, that song I couldn't believe it came out the way it came out.
This fall, I think she even got tickets to some DJ who's doing the whole big EDM thing. I don't even know who he is, but yeah. So it's kind of funny. I guess the joke's on me from that perspective, you know.
Oh, same for me, man.
There's such a positive energy on this album too. It is like focused, you know. It is intact. It's focused. Did it feel that positive when you were writing and recording in the studio that we got something? This is great.
Yeah, I mean, when we did the first, like I said, we kind of were ahead of the curve. We had 3 songs. There's like 3 songs cut prior to actually going in and doing the album. And even with those 3 songs, I was like, man, this is feeling pretty good. Like I feel like we're like on the cusp of something great, you know? Right. And when we finally finished, and the last song we wrote was Roadkill. And we had another song we were going to cut from our demo box that we never got to cut. And it's a great song. I'm so mad we didn't cut it. But our guitarist started messing around with the riff, and we were both like, that's sick. And then Evan was like, screw it, let's just write a song from scratch. And I'm like, we have another song that's done. Like, I was thinking like that, but I was like, you know what? Like, screw it. Yeah, let's write a new song. And we did. We wrote that song in like 8 hours. But like, even with that being said, that was the final song, like to get to our 10 mark. And after it, we were all like, man, that song's killer. And even Evan was like, it's kind of sad, like, that we're ending this because I feel like we're like cooking right now.
Yeah,
And he's
yeah.
like, this is the way it always goes. You finish, and it's like, oh man, we could probably sit and write 10 more songs like this, if not better. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, but it was a cool vibe. It was a cool vibe. Everybody was just vibing, like no bad vibes at all. It was a good vibe.
And then Roadkill was one of your singles, right? I think Devil's Cut was first, and Roadkill was your second single, right?
Yeah.
Off this album. So
Yep.
you must have really thought very highly of Roadkill to put that out as a second.
Yeah, we loved it. It was just a different sound for us, like the dad rock sound. You know, it's just like we hadn't really done it quite like that before, and it was our first stab at it, and we were all like, "This is really cool." You know,
it's a great song. You know, in the video for Devil's Cut, I've watched it a couple times. The guy in the purple car, is he a cop or is he a competitor bootlegger? Well,
he's a cop. He's supposed to be a cop.
He's supposed to be a cop. All right.
Yeah.
And who's the guy helping him? The bald guy helping him?
Supposed to be like his intel, like an undercover guy, coming to buy it to see if we had it, see if we were selling, to run back to him to let him know, like, yo, they're in there with moonshine. You know?
My daughter bought me a bottle of moonshine for Christmas. I was going to bring it out, but I was like, I don't know, is it too corny or not? You know,
I don't care. I love moonshine. Some of that stuff is rough though, man. The apple pie is great though. I love apple pie.
Yeah, that's the one she got me.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, that stuff's so good.
I had a friend of a friend of a friend who did make it in New Jersey. And when he would bring it over, it was absolutely incredible. It was like, wow. And it really knocked you on your ass. You couldn't drive.
Oh, yeah.
Really, you couldn't be anywhere but home drinking this because you were going to get pretty empty.
Yeah, and it's scary too. It'll get you because you can't really taste it, like the alcohol. Like, you don't know. It's just that sweet that it just goes down so smooth. And you're screwed by the time you're done with it.
The one she bought in the store wasn't smooth.
Oh, what? Yeah,
it was almost like whiskey. You know, it was like, the jarring effect of it. But my friends, whatever, that went down super smooth. Sometimes they even mixed it with Sprite, and it was like still.
Yeah, Mountain Dew. It's great with Mountain Dew.
Yeah, cool stuff. You talked a little bit about Black Smoke Cherry. Are you guys in the same area? You guys friends? You know each other?
I've never. Our producer is friends with one of the guys. They have a studio in Bowling Green, which Bowling Green is south of Louisville, just north of Nashville. It's literally the last big city before you enter Tennessee.
Okay.
So I've not met them yet, but there was talks of us going up there with Evan and writing some songs with him.
Wow.
You know, and so I'm hoping that happens because I love that band.
I do too.
Yeah, they're great. They're great. So maybe in the future, I'll meet them. But hopefully.
I've interviewed those guys a couple of times. They're so nice, Ben and Chris. Incredibly nice guys. And I saw them the first time this summer in New Jersey, in Asbury Park. What a show. These guys were on fire the whole show.
They rip. They rip. I saw them at Louder Than Life, and they're just so good.
Yeah, the stage was too small for them. You know, they could have bursted out at any given moment from that stage. They were running. Ben was crazy. What a great show.
Yeah, they're a good band, man. I want to see them again.
Yeah, I want to come and see you. You're going to be playing in Manalapan, New Jersey in May.
Yeah. That'll be
I've never seen.
I've never been through.
I've never heard of the place either. What can fans expect from your show?
Yeah, country good time. We shotgun beers, we drink, we party, we raise hell, praise Dale chants. Like, we're all over the place. We try to bring elements of a country live show to metal, you know. So it's just a good time. Bunch of good old boys, like, just have fun with us, sing along, you know.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Do you do the full album? Do you do extra songs from your EPs? It's nice to have
like so many new songs because
Yeah.
we had been playing a lot of the same old stuff. Like our set was getting kind of predictable. So like now we have 10 new songs. So we're just like picking and choosing, but we have currently 4 old songs in our set. The rest
Okay.
is all new.
Very cool.
So yeah.
I'm looking to come and see you guys. I do a lot of photography. I'll come down, I'll photograph the show, I'll do a review.
Oh, you're
come and say
coming?
hello. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Can't
Yeah.
wait. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm pretty close. We're pretty close to it. So wasn't like Niagara Falls that are
Yeah, well, I'm
5
stoked for
hours.
that. I've never been to Niagara Falls, so
Very
like
cool.
that's going to be a cool thing to like go out there. I hope we have time to go see it, but
Yeah.
I didn't even know they had a music scene up there. I'm like, that's interesting, you know?
Yeah.
Like, hey, whatever.
We used to go out that way for oh shit, I forgot where they had the Olympics. It escapes me now. Where they had the Miracle on Ice. There's
Oh yeah.
yeah. I forget the name. And we sometimes would stop at Niagara Falls. My daughter did skating, and then we would go up to Niagara Falls and see it. It was beautiful, beautiful area.
That's awesome. Yeah, I
it was
can't
a great
wait.
time.
I can't wait.
Good.
It's a
Well,
bucket
listen,
list for me.
I want to thank you so much for your time today. I love the album, and thank you for all the insight behind everything. Really fascinating,
No
and really
problem.
adds another layer of how much more to listen to it and say, oh, I really like this aspect, and now that because I know something. So thank you so much.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Again, hope to see you soon. Hope to see you in May. All right.
Definitely. Yeah,
All right.
definitely.
Bye-bye.
Heavy metal
My
rock.
global mind.